Welcome to Point Prim. This is one of my favorite places to paint. And seeing as I recently had a one-day-only pop-up art show here, I thought this would be a good chance to show you why I like to paint here so much. The Lighthouse is going to be opening a tea room and a museum here next year, and this event was a preview for the community to come see what it will look like. Let me show you the view from the point. If you're down on the rocks, there's about a 270-degree view of the ocean from there, and you can often see sea life, seals, seabirds, very rarely whales, and you see lots of fishing boats coming and going. I'd arrived early for the show, so I decided to do some sketching. I chose this view to paint because of the way the light was breaking through the clouds and throwing highlights across the headland and the water. I was careful when it came to painting the look of the fog obscuring the land in the distance. Watercolors are so well suited to making the soft, indistinct shapes that suggest the fog we have so much of here in the Bay of Fundy. I had to take a break in my sketching to go hang the show, and when I came back from doing that, the fog had rolled in completely, making it kind of hard to finish my sketch. I added in the foreground details because that is what I could see at the time. And even though it might seem frustrating to be trying to paint in the midst of the fog, I was just delighting in being there. I was painting outside, I was responding to the changing conditions and watching the play of light and weather across the seashore. I realized as I did this that I have not painted outside enough this summer, and I resolved to do more of it in the fall. There's something just completely different about working outside as compared to working in the studio. It truly is incredibly refreshing for an artist to paint outside. In the end, I didn't finish this sketch. That happens, and it's fine. It was enough just to be out there, observing what I saw and noting those observations in paint. The great thing about going out to Point Prim, for me anyways, is that there's enough to see there that regardless of the weather conditions or of the time of day, there's always something there that I can find that inspires me to paint. So when it came time to plan this show, I had a lot of paintings from right here to choose from. Here's an overview of the room. And I was excited to bring paintings of this place back to the source of my inspiration to paint them. Here's a closer look at them. This one is a view of the next point over during a gale. This is a different gale, same point, different view of it, of course. These are the tidal pools awash with water on a January afternoon. These are all studio paintings so far. Now this next one is not from Point Prim. This is a Bay of Fundy herring weir, something that I really enjoy painting and is very iconic to this area. Here's the marina in Digby, somewhere I spend a lot of time. So I included this because it's a very local view. And now we're back to the point. Yet another windy day at the point with waves and beautiful clouds. I painted this in the studio after a walk on the point on Mother's Day, and we're back to the waterfront in Digby now. This is a fish plant, and I just really like to paint the intricate shapes of the pilings. This is the Point Prim again, and this little one is a study that I did in preparation for the big one that you just saw. I like to do a study before I do a bigger painting. For example, this one's a study of the one you saw at the beginning. And this is an outdoor painting of a dinghy in the cove where I grew up in New Brunswick when I was a kid. This waterfall is actually from the point. It's tucked up in the trees somewhere. And this last one is, again, surf pounding the coast. That was an oil painting. Now, here's a treat that most people don't get to see. I'm going to take you up to the top of the lighthouse for a view out over the shore. It's not a super tall lighthouse, so, there's not that many stairs, but there's enough that you can see that you're going up and up and up again. There's the ladder there. That's the last ladder. And here's me climbing up. And there, I've made it to the top. Hello from the top. And here's the view looking out. There was fog when I was up there, but it was really beautiful, interesting fog. Look at those trees poking through and the complex clouds in behind. Now we're facing the ocean. You can't really tell because, again, the fog. But there's the point itself reaching out into the water. The lighthouse is no longer an official navigational aid. It's maintained now by the Friends of Point Prim, who do all the work of maintaining the grounds and the building. I'm pleased to support them in their work by donating 10% of each painting of the Point Prim area that I sell. And if you visit the show notes, you'll see a link to the Friends of Point Prim, where you can make a donation of your own if you so choose. I hope you enjoyed this tour of the lighthouse and the grounds, and I invite you to learn more about the lighthouse and the paintings by visiting my website.